Hi, everyone. Since 2019, I have conducted over 150 flight reviews, and that means I've gotten to see a lot. But there are a few things in common with a lot of my reviews, and today I'm going to share with you the 3 pieces of feedback that I find myself giving all the time during flight review debriefs. When I conduct a flight review, my goal is to not just get you another little tick box on your pilot certificate, but also to hopefully share some lessons learned, best practices, or other tips I've picked up from others along the way. So I tend to spend some time in the debrief, perhaps being a bit nitpicky, but ensuring you get the most out of this experience. So here they are. Number 1, use your checklists. Checklists that meet the TC requirements are not just a flight review item, but are actually required for all basic and advanced flights. In advance of your flight review, you've likely gone through the effort of refining them, so use them and make sure that they are usable. An app can be a great way of keeping things organized, but if it's running on the device you're using to connect to the drone, it's not always a smooth way of operating. You'll want to practice using your checklist before your flight review, either in basic environments or even if you're just not flying. You can still mock through them, get familiar with the flow and the layout to make sure that they're usable for you and how you like to operate. If you do choose to go the paper route, which is my own personal preference too, I recommend a binder or a clipboard or a ring to attach them to so you don't end up chasing paper around your flight area. Checklists are especially important in emergencies when stress can mess with your memory. In real life or mock emergencies like you'll encounter on your flight review, you'll want your emergency checklist to support your response. It should be easy for you or someone you've delegated to find the right one and run through the troubleshooting and next steps. At the very least, go to the emergency checklist when the event is over and make sure you've covered all that needs to be done. If your checklists become second nature, you will thank yourself later. Trust me. Number 2, check the airspace above your flight area. Controlled airspace is often closer than you think, and it is your responsibility to know what's up there. If your drone starts to climb into controlled airspace and you can't make it come back down, you need to know who to contact. And spoiler alert, it's probably not the closest tower. So do your research before every flight. Understanding the airspace can save you a lot of trouble. I have a whole other video on that you can check out if you're not sure how to know what's up there. And kind of related to this one, make note of how close the airspace is to you, not how close the center of the airport is. That 3 to 7 or more nautical mile difference is huge and will impact how long you have in a lateral flyaway before you have to get on the phone. And number 3, look at your drone when initiating movement. Even with visual line of sight flights, it's totally normal and okay to split your attention between looking down at your controller screens and looking up at your drone. But whenever you're about to make a movement, move your eyes to the drone. You're going to watch it move just long enough to ensure it's behaving as expected and clear of any obstructions. Then you can glance down at your screen to make sure you're getting the data that you want. And then you'll move your eyes back and forth as needed. But again, anytime you're making a change in direction or altitude, your eyes go back to the drone. Back when I was a flight instructor in airplanes, I had an examiner that I loved to use for my students' flight tests. Shout out Paul Harris. A line I've adapted from his debriefs is, when you go to watch a hockey game, are you watching the players or are you watching the scoreboard? You watch players, of course. You keep your eye on the game and then confirm data with the scoreboard. So you can apply that same logic to your drone flying. Eyes on the drone whenever possible, confirm you're getting what you want when needed. These 3 tips, using your checklists, checking the airspace above, and watching your drone during big movements are small habits that make a big difference, both in your flight review success, but even more importantly, in your day-to-day flying too. If you build them into your routine, you'll see your confidence and skill as a pilot skyrocket. So next time you fly, keep these in mind and let me know how it goes. fly safe, and I'll see you next time. Have any questions or more tips to share? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you.